Okay, so yeah, I'm going to talk you through the DDJ-WeGO3 at last. Yeah, this is obviously the third in the succession of the range. We brought the WeGO1 out 3 years ago and have updated it every year since. And it's been refined every time. You know, the first initial 2 units were really designed to be kind of my first DJ package, almost like the beginner DJ's tool to learn on. And it looked very much like that. It was designed to not look amiss in your front room, very flashing lights and very blinging in your face and almost looking a little bit plasticky, even though it was really functional. But as we've gone on, every unit has kind of become more slick and refined. And on this unit, you really can tell. Whereas before, it did look a little bit toy-esque. The WeGO3, it still has got the bling factor to it. You know, it wouldn't look amiss in your front room, but it does look a lot slicker. It looks like a slab of aluminium now in the white version. Available in 2 colours, so you can get this white and silver or black as well. It's like it says black. It's almost like a gunmetal grey, but very cool looking unit. Some of the lighting technology we put on, we kind of invented it during the first release. It was called the pulse lighting technology. So it's been designed to help you learn how to mix. The original idea of it was the LEDs would flash and lock when you actually lined the BPMs of both tracks up. So the closer you got to lining a track up and syncing them, the more in tune the lighting would be. And they'd actually lock the flashing lights on each of the rotating platters. Sorry, they don't rotate, on each of the platters. But yeah, let me just remove my iPad so you can see on the screen exactly how what we've incorporated onto this. So on the previous unit, we had a screw-on handle that allowed you to dock your iPad and then connect with an in-the-box solution, one cable to your iOS device. And I say iPad, you can use this on an iPhone, you can use it on an iPod, any iOS device that supports algorithm DJ. On this unit, just for purely design purposes, we've carved in this slot. So it looks hell of a lot slicker when you're sitting your iPad in there and there's no additional work to be done. It's literally an in-the-box solution. You don't have to screw anything on or attach any handles. You just pull it out of the box, put your iPad in. We've got this iOS cable, which it comes with a lightning cable in the box. So that's literally running from my iPad into the back of the WeGO there. However, if you've got an older iPad or an older iPhone or an older iPod, one with a 30-pin connector, you can buy an additional cable called the DJC-WeGO3 cable, available in any Pioneer retailer. It costs £30, and that allows you to run out of the WeGO into an iOS camera kit, which can be either Lightning or 30-pin. So in total cost of £50, you can still use it with your old iOS devices as well. Now, I'm going to unplug it, just so you can see that algorithm is now not connected, it's not live. If I go with my crossfader there. Just so you can see, as soon as I connect this, how simple this is and how straightforward. You get the Pioneer DJ logo run across, and now you're connected, you're good to go. This will work with computers as well, work with your laptop. This is probably the most supportive bit of hardware we make. It pretty much supports all the big players out there. It comes free with Virtual DJ in the box, or Virtual DJ comes free in the box with it, bundled software. You also get a free download to Algorithm DJ on the iPad, and Algorithm DJ on the laptop as well as VJ on the laptop. So the secondary, like the video version of the software will work on this also. Anyone who's using Tractor, you can also use this. And quite a big step as well, we now got the free Serato intro support and Serato DJ as well. So if you want to pay to use Serato DJ with this, you're free to do that. So it just means you're not caged into using one piece of software. A lot of DJs who are getting this are either, the guys we speak to anyway, are either newbie DJs who are starting out, mainly for budget purposes. You know, they don't want to spend a massive great deal on a brand new controller for something they're just dipping their toe into or on a setup. And the other side of it is people who used to DJ and are trying to get back into it, or can't maybe justify spending £4,000 or £1,000+ on a setup for a hobby, so they're going back down just this controller route. So yeah, people that may not be sure on what software they quite want to use yet, you're free to use whatever you want to use with this until you kind of find your feet and decide what really works for you. But yeah, let me take you through the features quickly, because we haven't got a great deal of time. As soon as you connect it, it's instant plug and play, and this is iOS device, so it's SSD drive, so there's very little latency, very little delay. In fact, when you're using this, it's faster than most laptop computers, just simply because of the nature of the iOS device. I'm going to jump into my center pot up here, and that will allow me to scan through my music. At the moment, on the top right-hand corner of my browser, I'll expand that a bit. And the beauty of this is you can use a combination of the iPad and the controller, because the iPad's like an extension of the controller anyway. But you can see on the top left, I'm accessing my iTunes library, and I can scan through here using this pot, choose a track, load it in, and it instantly starts to play just because I've got my settings set to do so. But an amazing feature in the latest version of DJ is the fact that you can actually choose to access your Spotify library. Now this, I think, is invaluable. I'm on a beta version of DJ, so it keeps kicking me off my Spotify library. But anyone who uses Spotify, £10 a month, you can download as much music as you want from unlimited genres, and you start building a library. And you can either store them tracks to your device, or you can just stream them. It's completely up to you. On this, it doesn't really matter either or. As long as you've got Wi-Fi signal, or you've downloaded the tracks to your iPad, you've got free reign to DJ with your entire Spotify library, which I just think is such a key selling point for this, the fact you can do this. Obviously, that's DJ's key selling point, but this is probably the best controller you can use with Algoriddim DJ, so it's such an amazing feature, man. However, it's a shame I can't show it on the beta version, but let me load in a track once more. So I've done it a bit quickly before. I'm going to choose a track, and then I can either load into deck A or load into deck B. And two things happen. You get an LED response to indicate the track is red to below, and you also get the software switch back to the performance view, like so. Find the start of the track. And this is a miniature controller in comparison to some of the products in our range. The jog wheels are tiny, and it's all very condensed and very portable, but it doesn't really hinder. It doesn't really hinder you in any way. I find it extremely easy to perform on this. Take you through some of the controls and the reasoning for layering them out the way we have done. Of course, you've got a 2-channel mixer in the center, which does what it says on the tin. You've got your volume controls on deck A and deck B, crossfader. And if anyone's seen any of our performance videos before, we've used, I think DJ Blakey, who performed on the stand, he'd done a video for this, and maybe even Switch actually. If you've ever seen that, you can see that you can actually scratch on this, and you can perform and use all the tricks that you've learned on other pieces of hardware. 3-band isolator EQ, very slight bleed from that. And then your monitoring system over here. Very straightforward mixer controls. In this round section here, because it's a small controller, we didn't want to clutter it with hundreds of controls and hundreds of pots. You know, we wanted to keep the design slick, but at the same time offer as much as possible. So a lot of functions, a lot of controls do two things on this. Of course, we got the transport. We got cue and play. Cue allows me to set my cue point. Play allows me to play my track. Quite straightforward. Then we got 4 hot cues on here. If I touch the platter, the waveform on Algoriddim zooms right in and allows me to see exactly what I'm doing on the waveform. Now I'm going to set 4 percussive hot cues. 1, 2, 3, 4. Straightforward as so. Everyone knows what a hot cue does by now. Depending what genre of music you play, you're going to use these in different ways. Pick out key vocal points, pick out key percussive parts like so, or you can just use them to jump to specific parts of a track. But But your hot cues also double up as your sample triggers. We've all heard these sounds a million times. But in Algoriddim DJ, you can change these as well. Again, using a combination of the iPad with the WeGo, I can jump into this view by pressing this center button. And you can actually see the pads. But you can jump to edit, and you can change these into a number of different packs. This is a beta version, however, so I probably can't do the full extent. But you can actually record in your own samples, load in your own samples, download Snoop Dogg pack, download all these various different packs of samples to load in. So you're not hindered to these typical sounds that we've heard hundreds of times over. You're probably noticing that there's no specific effect pots on here. We're running out of time. 2 minutes, okay, so I'm going to whiz through it. There's no specific effect pots on here. So we've created Jog Effects. If anyone's ever used one of the old CDJ 400s years back, they had really cool Jog Effects on there. You know, it was the first unit to incorporate that. And this works in a similar way. Bring up the volume. We've got 6 controls up on the, above our jog wheel here. And they allow you to, the first 2 allow you to loop. So, bang. 2-beat loop. Then I can cut it in half. Or I can double it. Sorry, first 3 controls I should say. So very straightforward looping. On the original WeGo, we just had a loop pot that you could turn left and right. You couldn't really see it as well as you can do on this. Chopping and doubling the loop size. But then the next 3 controls apply your effects. So turn your effect on. You can hear we got a chopper. And then you control the speed of that. I'm actually just going to jump a bit further into the track. You control the speed of this using the jog wheel. And you can see, when I'm all the way to the left, the light show is now going to change. It's pulse lighting technology is indicating the speed at which, or the intensity of the effect. And you can use multiple effects. Delay. Really straightforward, intuitive and easy to use. This is available at the end of this month for £249. So considering it's supporting nearly every high profile piece of software out there, and the fact you can access your Spotify library through the iPad, through Algoriddim DJ, it's offering quite a lot for the price, man. One key thing which I haven't mentioned either is that the iPad charges now as well. So you're not limited to a battery life of any kind, provided you can connect this to the mains. You can also provide bus power to this, but if you want to charge your iPad, you need to plug it into the mains, and you've got free reign to use it for however long you want. That is the DDJ-WeGO3. Thanks for your time, guys.